Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hoop of Basketball channel. Today we're diving into some exciting news coming out of the Indiana Fever. New Fever star Natasha Howard recently spoke out about her teammate, Caitlyn Clark, and the team's defense. And let's just say she didn't hold back. If you're a WNBA fan or just love basketball, this is a story you won't want to miss. Let's break it all down. Natasha Howard is no stranger to the WNBA. With 3 championships, a Defensive Player of the Year award, and multiple All-Star appearances, she's one of the most accomplished players in the league. Her arrival in Indiana has already made waves, and her recent comments about Caitlyn Clark and the Fever's defense have fans buzzing. But what exactly did she say? Let's get into it. Howard didn't hold back when talking about her new teammate, Caitlyn Clark. She called Clark a generational talent and praised her work ethic, basketball IQ, and competitive fire. Howard also mentioned that Clark's ability to score from anywhere on the court will be a game changer for the Fever. But it wasn't all praise. Howard also had some strong words about the team's defense. While Howard had plenty of good things to say about Clark, she was brutally honest about the Fever's defense. She said the team needs to lock in on that end of the floor if they want to compete for a championship. Howard emphasized that defense wins championships, and she's ready to lead by example. But what does this mean for the Fever? Let's break it down. Last season, the Fever were one of the worst defensive teams in the WNBA. They struggled to stop opposing offenses, and it cost them games. With Howard now in the mix, the team has a chance to turn things around. Her ability to guard multiple positions, block shots, and disrupt opposing offenses will be crucial. But she can't do it alone. The entire team needs to step up. Howard's leadership on the defensive end will be key for the Fever. She's been through it all in the WNBA, and her experience will be invaluable for a young team like Indiana. Whether it's calling out rotations, setting the tone in practice, or leading by example in games, Howard's presence will be felt on every possession. While Clark is known for her offensive prowess, Howard also touched on her defensive potential. She said Clark has the tools to be a solid defender, but needs to put in the work. With Howard mentoring her, Clark could develop into a two-way player who impacts the game on both ends of the floor. With Howard and Clark now in the fold, the Fever have a solid foundation to build around. But basketball is a team sport, and success will depend on how well these new additions mesh with the existing roster. Players like Kelsey Mitchell and Alyssa Smith will play crucial roles in supporting Howard and Clark. Let's take a closer look at the Fever's roster and how it's shaping up for the upcoming season. Kelsey Mitchell has been the face of the Fever for the past few seasons, and for good reason. She's one of the most dynamic scorers in the league, capable of dropping 30 points on any given night. With Howard and Clark now in the mix, Mitchell won't have to carry the load alone. This could free her up to be even more efficient and effective on the court. Alyssa Smith is another key piece for the Fever. The former Baylor standout has shown flashes of brilliance in her young career, and she's only getting better. With Howard mentoring her in the front court, Smith has the potential to take a big leap this season. Her ability to rebound, defend, and score in the paint will be crucial for the Fever's success. Of course, none of this happens without a strong coaching staff. The Fever recently hired Christy Sides as their head coach, and she brings a wealth of experience and a fresh perspective to the team. Sides' ability to develop young talent and create a winning culture will be key as the Fever look to turn things around. One of the biggest challenges for any team with new faces is building chemistry. Howard and Clark are both incredible players, but they'll need time to gel with their teammates. How quickly they can develop that chemistry will play a huge role in determining the Fever's success this season. One thing that will help speed up that process is Howard's leadership. She's been through it all in the WNBA, and her experience will be invaluable for a young team like the Fever. Whether it's leading by example on the court or mentoring younger players off it, Howard's presence will be felt in every aspect of the game. As for Clark, the expectations are sky high. She's coming into the league as one of the most hyped rookies in recent memory, and all eyes will be on her. But Clark has shown time and time again that she thrives under pressure. If she can bring that same mentality to the WNBA, the Fever could be in for a special season. The addition of Howard and Clark wasn't the only move the Fever made this offseason. They also brought in several other players to bolster their depth and address key needs. Let's take a look at some of the other new faces on the roster and how they could contribute. In addition to Howard, the Fever added a few other veterans to provide leadership and stability. Players like Erica Wheeler and Tiffany Mitchell bring experience and versatility to the backcourt, which will be crucial as the team looks to compete in a tough Eastern Conference. The Fever also made some smart moves in the draft, selecting players who could contribute right away. While Clark is the headliner, they also added depth in the front court and backcourt. These draft picks could pay dividends down the line as the team continues to build for the future. Speaking of the Eastern Conference, let's take a look at the competition. The Fever will have their work cut out for them in a conference that features powerhouse teams like the Chicago Sky, Connecticut Sun, and Atlanta Dream. But with Howard and Clark leading the way, the Fever have the potential to shake things up. After several years of missing the playoffs, the Fever are hoping to make a return to the postseason. With the additions of Howard and Clark, along with the development of their young core, this could be the year they break through. But it won't be easy, and every game will matter. One area where Howard will make an immediate impact is on the defensive end. Her ability to guard multiple positions, block shots, and disrupt opposing offenses will be a game changer for the Fever. Defense wins championships, and Howard's presence could elevate the entire team's defensive intensity. On the offensive side, Clark brings a level of firepower that the Fever haven't had in years. Her ability to score from anywhere on the court, create for her teammates, and take over games in crunch time will make the Fever a much more dangerous team. Opposing defenses will have their hands full trying to contain her. With Howard and Clark leading the way, the Fever could adopt a more up-tempo, high-scoring style of play. Clark's ability to push the ball in transition and Howard's versatility in the half-court could make the Fever one of the most exciting teams to watch this season. The addition of Howard and Clark has already generated a ton of excitement among Fever fans. After years of struggling, there's a renewed sense of hope and optimism surrounding the team. Ticket sales are up, and the buzz around the Fever is louder than ever. With Clark's arrival, the Fever are also getting more media attention than they have in years. National TV games, increased coverage, and a growing fan base are all signs that the Fever are back on the map. This increased exposure could help the team attract even more talent in the future. While the focus is on the upcoming season, it's also important to look at the bigger picture. The Fever are building for sustained success, and the additions of Howard and Clark are a big part of that plan. With a strong core of young players and a solid foundation, the future looks bright for the Fever. For Howard, this is an opportunity to add to her already impressive legacy. She's already a three-time champion and one of the best players of her generation. But leading the Fever back to prominence would be another feather in her cap and cement her status as one of the all-time greats. As for Clark, she's already a favorite to win Rookie of the Year. If she can live up to the hype and help the Fever make a playoff push, she'll be in the conversation for one of the best rookie seasons in WNBA history. But it won't be easy, and she'll have to earn it every step of the way. Before the regular season tips off, the Fever will have a chance to build chemistry and fine-tune their game during the preseason. These games will be crucial for Howard, Clark, and the rest of the team as they prepare for the grueling WNBA schedule. There are several key matchups to watch this season, including games against the Chicago Sky, Las Vegas Aces, and New York Liberty. These games will be a good test for the Fever and a chance to see how they stack up against the league's best. One of the most exciting aspects of this season will be the Fever's home games. With a rejuvenated roster and a passionate fan base, Gainbridge Fieldhouse is sure to be rocking all season long. If you're in the area, be sure to catch a game and support the team. On the road, the Fever will face tough environments and hostile crowds. But with Howard's experience and Clark's competitive fire, they'll be ready for the challenge. Stealing a few wins on the road could be the difference between making the playoffs and falling short. The Fever have also been active on social media, engaging with fans and building excitement for the upcoming season. From behind-the-scenes content to player interviews, they're doing a great job of connecting with their audience and growing their brand. Off the court, the Fever are also making a difference in the community. From youth basketball camps to charitable initiatives, they're committed to giving back and making a positive impact. It's another reason to support this team and be proud of what they're building. With the new season comes new merchandise, and Fever fans have plenty to choose from. From jerseys to hats to accessories, there's something for everyone. Be sure to check out the team store and show your support for Howard, Clark, and the rest of the squad. For those who can't make it to the games, the Fever's broadcast team will bring all the action to your living room. With insightful commentary and in-depth analysis, They'll keep you informed and entertained all season long. Every team has its rivalries, and the Fever are no exception. Whether it's the Chicago Sky, Indiana Pacers, or another team, these matchups always bring extra intensity and excitement. Be sure to mark your calendar for these must-watch games. Before we wrap up, let's take a quick look back at the Fever's history. From their founding in 2000 to their championship run in 2012, the Fever have a rich tradition of success. With Howard and Clark leading the way, they're hoping to add another chapter to that storied history. Making the playoffs would be a big step forward. The ultimate goal is to win a championship. With Howard's experience and Clark's talent, the Fever have the pieces in place to make a deep run. It won't be easy, but anything is possible with hard work and determination. Last but not least, let's give a shout out to the Fever's incredible fan base. Through thick and thin, they've supported this team, and their passion and loyalty are unmatched. With Howard and Clark in the fold, there's plenty to be excited about, and the fans are ready to cheer their team to victory. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the Indiana Fever and their new faces, Natasha Howard. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more WNBA, and let me know in the comments what you think about the Fever chances this season. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.